Tonight on CTV News at 6, a woman on trial in the death of a boy killed by her dogs. Testimony of the animal's vicious history before the child died. Fraud charges for men allegedly damaging cars to get better deals.
While they're inspecting the vehicle, they're actually tampering with the coolant.
And heading west. White Mud Drive widening in a rapidly growing area.
A nice, warm, windy start to the week. The good thing is the wind will settle down. We've got more warm days as we go throughout Tuesday and Wednesday. After that, the temperature drops a bit, and we've got some rain in the forecast. I'll have all those details coming up.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. We have breaking news for you now. An evacuation order has been issued for Woodlands County near Whitecourt due to an out-of-control wildfire. Witnesses say they were just outside Whitecourt where smoke could be seen billowing into the sky. The evacuation order covers the area east of Range Road 114 and south of Highway 43, including the Westridge subdivision. Everyone in the area must leave immediately and register at the evacuation reception center at the Allen and Jean Miller Center. Evacuees should bring pets, important documents, and medications. This is a developing story, and we'll bring you more updates as information becomes available. You can also find updated information on the Alberta Emergency Alert website or their app. The trial began today for a woman accused in the death of a boy who was attacked by her two dogs 2 years ago. The boy was visiting his father at the time. As CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports, the first witness says he and his cat were also attacked by the dogs before the boy was killed.
In April 2024, Kache Grist was visiting his father at this South Edmonton home. His dad said at the time his son had just come back from the store and was letting his landlord's two dogs in from the yard when he was attacked.
To have to be the parent and find your child like that, you know, that's the hardest thing I've ever been through in my whole life.
3 months later, the dog's owner, Crystal Jean McDonald, was charged with criminal negligence causing death. She pleaded not guilty. Her trial began today. An agreed statement of facts says Grist died of a dog bite injury to his neck. It also says the two dogs responsible were Cane Corsos that were 109 and 124 pounds. The first witness used to live in McDonald's basement. Jesse Woodruff says 2 months after moving in, he was attacked while playing with the dogs on the floor. He says it started playfully, but quickly escalated with both dogs on top of him, biting and scratching. He told the court, "I saw muscle coming out of my leg and I started screaming that I needed to go to the hospital." He says he received 6 stitches, antibiotics, and other medical treatment. He says McDonald promised to get a second kennel for the dogs and more training. Woodruff says 2 months later, the dogs charged the basement door while he was walking a friend out. He says one managed to get a hold of his cat. He says he and Grist's father were punching the dog before it released the cat. He testified, "I was in the car within a minute to get her into the vet down the road, where I was told she had already passed." He says he reported the attack to police and moved out a few weeks later. The Crown is expected to wrap up its case by the end of the week. The witnesses expected to testify include the boy's father and a person who says their small dog was also killed by these two dogs. Reporting from the law courts, Nicole Weisberg, CTV News.
RCMP have charged a Sherwood Park man with murder. Police say they were called Friday to an apartment building where a man was injured in the hallway. Police say he'd been stabbed. EMS tried to save him, but he died. RCMP say another man who lives in the building was arrested. The 31-year-old man is now facing a second-degree murder charge. RCMP Major Crimes has taken over the investigation. A forum tonight will discuss the potential fallout of Alberta separation. That follows a government committee meeting today on the future of the Forever Canadian petition. As CTV's Tim Brooke reports, with a referendum on the horizon, talk about whether Albertans will vote on separation is ramping up.
Former Deputy Premier Thomas Lukaszuk spent last summer collecting about 439,000 signatures on his Forever Canadian petition. It was then verified and approved by Elections Alberta in December. But 5 months later, it's stuck in limbo. This UCP-led committee could direct government to table policy or hold a referendum. It did neither on Monday.
We should do what is the right thing for our constituents, is the right thing for Albertans as elected officials, is stand in this House and speak to whether or not every member of that legislature supports this question.
If I may, we are at the end of our meeting today.
The opposition Alberta NDP has been accusing the Premier of purposely delaying the process to avoid a public MLA vote on separation.
She knows that it is her future leadership that's at risk. She knows that her party is now beholden to these separatists. So it is not surprising to me that the Premier can't do what Albertans are asking to do.
I'll just let the independent committee do the assessment and then make a report to us about what they think the path forward should be.
The Premier has been more outspoken as of late about her desire for Alberta to remain a part of Canada. She says meetings in Ottawa last week gave her more confidence.
It's time for a divorce. As I told the Prime Minister, it's more like couples counseling. Let's get together at a table, let's identify the issues that are problematic, and let's work them out.
Movement on an energy MOU is expected soon, but those in the federal government say the separation conversation is bigger than just one or two policies.
The case for Canada is stronger than any individual moment.
That's why Calgary's only Liberal MP will be lending his voice to a United Canada event on Monday night. He'll speak alongside former Premier Jason Kenney.
This is a conversation that needs to happen across the political spectrum. I might not even be the best voice for all audiences, but I want to make sure that I'm putting my voice out there.
Legislation is coming this fall to give the province more power over bike lanes. The transportation minister says his government wants cities to justify where they build bike lanes using data. As Jeremy Thompson reports, the new legislation could prevent future bike lanes and have some existing ones removed.
It's been 4 years since City Council dedicated $100 million to build bike lanes.
Some of the bigger projects are happening this year, like Bonnie Doon, Grosvenor, and 95 Ave. So I think people will start to see a lot more.
Aaron Budnick says better bike lanes give more people the confidence to try cycling to work or for fun. He says they're also good for drivers.
We're growing fast. The city added roughly the size of Red Deer over 2 years. If we don't build alternatives to driving, we're going to end up with Toronto's traffic.
Some Edmontonians disagree. People who live near a number of new bike lanes have brought their concerns over parking and traffic flow to the province.
As a provincial government, we have no qualms with bike lanes if they're put in proper places.
Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen says his government is going to help determine where cities can build bike lanes. He says legislation coming this fall will require cities study traffic impacts and estimate how many people will use a bike lane before a new one is built. It could also lead to existing lanes being torn out.
Everything's on the table right now. So we're looking at obviously proactively trying to stop bike lanes that don't make sense, but retroactively going through where bike lanes have been put in place.
City staff already consider traffic impacts when deciding where to build bike lanes, including on 132nd Avenue. Minister Dreeshen criticized that project last summer for going from 4 lanes of traffic to 2.
I do worry about the conversation around retroactive changes because that there's a significant cost that could be associated to that.
Mayor Andrew Knack is an avid cyclist. After meeting with Minister Dreeshen, he's satisfied new legislation will focus more on backing up future bike lanes with data.
I would agree with the minister. We're not looking to take away lanes of traffic on busy arterial roadways. That's not how the City of Edmonton has been doing this.
The legislation is expected to be tabled in the fall session, which begins in late October. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
A West End section of the Whitemud is expanding after years of congestion and collisions. The project, a partnership between 3 different governments. They're calling the construction historic. Evan Kenney reports.
Every one of us deserves a safer road.
The province, the city, and Enoch Cree Nation are expanding this section of Whitemud Drive.
With about 400,000 new drivers in the last 6 years, there's more and more drivers on Alberta roads.
It's a busy, bumpy, narrow stretch of road with almost no shoulder. It will go from 2 to 4 lanes for nearly 2.5 kilometers between Winterburn Road and 231st Street.
Safety has been an issue in this region, and there's been far too many fatalities. And so that was one of the reasons to prioritize to getting this project done.
We've heard from West End residents when I was a councillor, really from the first day I was a councillor 12 and a half years ago, that this type of work was needed for this road.
The project will cost nearly $28 million, with each party paying a third.
We know this is going to be beneficial for safety. We also know it's going to be beneficial for the movement of goods and people, and that's why these types of investment matter.
companies will do the work with the nation acting like a contractor.
This project shows that it is possible to build together. It is possible to share the table equally.
Trees have already been cleared and construction will begin this spring. The project is expected to be complete in 2027.
It's really encouraging and exciting for the development of the West End.
The province has plans to continue the Whitemud expansion west all the way to Stony Plain. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Edmonton Riverboat is docked and waiting for repairs after a mechanical failure on Mother's Day left around 200 passengers stranded. The Riverboat's owner says yesterday, during the last cruise of the day, a hydraulic pump stopped functioning properly. He says while the boat was still running, the captain beached it and called for help. Edmonton Fire Rescue says all passengers were safely evacuated by around 7:30 last night. The Riverboat's owner says they hope to have all repairs finished and be back up and running by Thursday night. The province is spending more than $380 million on a new advanced skills centre at NAIT. The province says the new space will support 5,500 additional apprenticeships in fields like construction, transportation, manufacturing and energy. The centre will combine multiple programs under one roof to mirror work sites where plumbers, electricians, carpenters and more work together. The province says it will provide hands-on experience and direct pathways into the workforce.
The Advanced Skills Centre will support collaboration across 29 programs and create flexible learning environments that allow students to train side by side across trades and technologies. It would also help expand opportunities for youth, newcomers, women, and Indigenous learners to explore careers in the skilled trades.
Early site work will begin this spring with construction beginning next year. The centre will open in 2030. 9 students from across Alberta were celebrated by the Lieutenant Governor today for their academic success. A familiar face was also helping out.
He's demonstrated exceptional self-motivation and dedication to learn.
Our Josh Clausen was emceeing today's Lieutenant Governor of Alberta Student Awards ceremony. It honors students who showcased leadership, school achievement, and perseverance. Local grade 6 student Natalia Harris was one of the winners.
Being able to help, always ready to put themselves out there, and I don't know, strive for the good, strive for the better.
The 9 students also received a one-time bursary of $500 to put towards their future education. Edmonton Elks training camp is underway. The team is going into the season with high expectations.
This isn't a team that, we just want to make the playoffs. We just want to make a run. We want to win a Grey Cup, and this roster is good enough to win a Grey Cup. And for me, you only have so many years left. So I'm in the business of winning games, and I'm in the business of winning Grey Cups. And so you talk about it day one, and then after that, you focus on how do we get better to get to that end goal.
The team is currently working out at Clark Stadium on Sundays. The Elks finished last in the West Division last season, and the team says it's ready to surge up the standings. Several new players have been added to the roster on both defensive and offensive lines. Head coach Mark Killam says since taking the job a year ago, the team's culture has started to change.
There's way more clarity. Everyone understands, what we're trying to build this on, what we want our identity to be. That stuff's out of the way. Now we can that's why we wanted to have a practice the way that we wanted to, so that we can start there, so that we can take the lead.
The Edmonton Elks' first preseason game is May the 23rd in Vancouver. They open the regular season on the road in Ottawa June 6th. The home opener is June 20th. The Edmonton Radial Railway Society is gearing up for another streetcar season. The society says service will start on the high-level bridge this Friday and at Fort Edmonton Park Saturday. Fort Edmonton is adding the Regina 42 train to its regular rotation of passenger cars. The society says the high-level bridge is also adding card payment options for tickets. All right, getting back to our top story, the wildfire and the evacuation order near Whitecourt, Corey. We do have a crew on the way, but in the meantime, the weather, the wind here today, was it as bad there today as we experienced?
It was actually a little bit stronger in and around Whitecourt. So we had some strong wind here in the Edmonton area, even stronger in Whitecourt. As we take a look at the current condition right now, temperature sitting at 19. Winds are coming in at 22 kilometers per hour with the wind gusts at 43. Last time the direction was coming in, it was from the northwest, so blowing towards the fire, but away from the city. So in that regard, good, but unfortunately, very strong wind. For us here in Edmonton, our wind is a little bit lighter. We're seeing wind gusts at 30 kilometers per hour. Our temperature is 19 right now. Maximum wind gusts, I put Whitecourt in there. They maxed out at 56 this afternoon, where we were maxing out at 44. So quite a bit stronger in and around Whitecourt. As we take a look at the temperature right now, for us here in Edmonton, 19. A little bit cooler up towards Slave Lake, 12. Fort McMurray, Cold Lake, 19. So temperatures, most areas in the high teens, towards 20 degrees. As we take a look at our forecast for us here in Edmonton, the wind, it's still a little bit gusty, but it will die down as we go throughout the evening. Back to Whitecourt, their wind will also die down as we go throughout the evening. Light wind for them tomorrow, light wind for us tomorrow as well. So again, we'll be keeping an eye on the situation for the weather there and the wind and what is happening with the wildfire evacuation. For us here in Edmonton tomorrow, 7 to start, 24 for a high. Lots of sun to start, a little bit of cloud in the afternoon. 3-day forecast for Wednesday, 11 to start, 25 for a high. A little bit more cloud than sun for Wednesday, and then we've got a bit of a cold front coming through on Thursday. Could kick up some showers, a high of 14. And our temperature, unfortunately, drops a little bit more for the long weekend. I will have those details, your 5- and 10-day forecast coming up a little bit later on. Jeff.
Thank you, Corey. Still ahead, Edmonton police out with a warning.
There'll be always one person who is rushing to get somewhere, and they need to make a deal right now.
From laptops to private vehicle sales, a look at the distraction scams Edmontonians are dealing with. Also next.
People who have had bikes and just don't want to go through the online stuff.
An Alberta couple promoting the benefits of bike swapping for the environment, health benefits, and your wallet.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Police are warning Albertans about a fraud scheme involving private car sales. Police say it involves a group of 2 or 3 men posing as buyers. While distracting the seller, they would tamper with the vehicle and point out a damaged head gasket or oil leak. They would then pressure the car owner into selling the vehicle for far less than it's worth.
There'll be always one person who is rushing to get somewhere, and they need to make a deal right now. And there'll be 2 people trying to be in the personal space and try to coerce into making a sale, while one person has time to go under the hood and inspect the vehicle. And while they're inspecting the vehicle, they're actually tampering with the coolant.
To date, 13 sellers have been identified in Edmonton, Calgary, Sherwood Park, Leduc, and Thorsby. Police say none of the sellers were aware they'd been duped. 6 men are facing a combined 33 charges. 4 of them are wanted on Alberta-wide warrants. An Edmonton man is warning others about another kind of distraction theft.
I would call it a sleight of hand trick. A magic trick that I didn't like being on the end of, so...
This man says last week he sold a high-end Dell laptop to another man in the food court at Southgate Mall. He says he counted $4,500 in cash twice. When he wasn't looking, the man switched the envelope. The second envelope contained 2 fake $50 bills and pieces of paper. Rick went to security and filed a police report. He now wants to warn others.
I was super embarrassed, super ashamed. I didn't want to tell anybody. But if we don't all stick together and start telling each other what's happening out there, this is how they get away with this more and more often.
EPS says you should meet up at police stations when buying or selling items online. An Alberta couple has created a bike swap for buyers looking for quality wheels at a decent price. The event has grown so big they took over a hangar at the Aviation Museum this weekend. Connor Hogg was there.
There aren't really too many people on the line yet, eh?
Derek Steiger and Sally Hansen arrived at the Alberta Aviation Museum early Saturday morning.
We thought we would come here and maybe get a used bike instead of purchasing new this time around.
They're the first in line for the Edmonton bike swap, so they'll be ready to go for a season of road biking.
We like to go on the highways and whatnot instead of the cities and get more exercise and try to adopt a healthier lifestyle.
Something to do together?
Getting more people riding bikes is one of the reasons Chris and Laura Grant hold bike swaps like this one, as well as providing people a safer place to buy and sell than on third-party websites.
People who have had bikes and just don't want to go through the online stuff.
We're thorough. They know that we have a significant enough rejection rate.
Motivated sellers.
The first part of the day is spent inspecting the bikes, running their serial numbers. Some will be sold and some will be donated. All of them have to be ready for new bike day.
It's probably the most positive energy you could ever have in your entire life.
The Grants say they expect to see a record number of bikes swapped. They believe cycling is becoming more fashionable for economic reasons.
Have you seen the price of gas?
I bet you there will be more people looking to commute, looking for commuter bikes today, but there are an awful lot of people looking for the health benefits of a bicycle.
Laura Grant credits those health benefits with keeping her going after an MS diagnosis in 1980.
What have impacted me after I woke up from my coma was blindness more than anything. So whenever I wasn't blind, I rode my bike. That's what got me here.
As eager Edmontonians walk their new rides to the register.
It's just something to let you get away from the busyness of work and life and so forth. So anyone can pick it up, really.
They say they can't wait to hit the summer highway together. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Still ahead, a widespread wildfire evacuation alert. Holmes will have the latest when we come back.
The forecast for us here in Edmonton, the wind will die down. We're going to be warm over the next couple of days, but as we head towards the long weekend, there's always a but, isn't there? As we go throughout the long weekend, our temperatures are set to drop off. We've got some rain in the forecast. I will have those details, your 5-day forecast, when we chat weather.
Programming brought to you by Final Symphony with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Returning now to our top story, where an evacuation order has been issued for Woodlands County near Whitecourt due to an out-of-control wildfire. Our Miriam Valdez-Carletti joins us live now with more. Miriam, what are the people there seeing?
Well, Jeff, witnesses say that they were just outside Whitecourt where smoke could be seen billowing out of the sky. Viewers sent us these videos of the fire with plumes of smoke that can be seen from kilometers away. The evacuation order covers the area east of Range Road 114 and south of Highway 43, including the Westridge subdivision. Evacuees should bring pets, important documents, and medication to where they're evacuating. And I managed to speak with one person who is in Whitecourt preparing to evacuate. Right now, everyone in the area must immediately leave and register at the Evacuation Reception Center at the Allen and Jane Miller Center. Jeff?
All right, Miriam, thank you. That's Miriam Valdez-Carletti, live on the fire, the developing situation near Whitecourt. Miriam, thank you. And of course, we'll have much more on this developing news as it becomes available to us. We do have a crew on their way to Whitecourt right now. They could really use a hand. That wind, no doubt, whipping the flames up. Yeah,
not great. But the good thing is the wind will die down as we go throughout the evening. So as we take a look at the current conditions for Whitecourt right now, temperature is 19, winds around 22 kilometers per hour, but wind gusts are coming in around 43. Last time the direction was registering for the wind, it was coming in from the northwest. So blowing away from the city towards the fire. So the fire being south-southeast, the wind more favorable, at least for the city of Whitecourt compared to where the fire is. But that wind not helping with the firefight at all. But the good thing is it will ease as we go throughout the evening. Temperature there again, 19. Very similar temperature throughout the province. We're sitting in the high teens. As we take a look at the sustained and wind gusts, again, right around 22 kilometers per hour, wind gusts 43. For us here in Edmonton, our wind is a little bit lighter. Our wind is coming in at 19 for a sustained sustained, wind gusts around 30. So still feeling the wind. It is starting to ease, and it will ease throughout the province as we go throughout the evening. So as we take a look at the wind forecast by 10 p.m. tonight on the light side for Whitecourt, for us as well. Still a little bit stronger for Peace River and Grand Prairie, but it will ease in those areas as well as we go throughout the overnight. So for Tuesday morning and throughout the day on Tuesday, winds on the light side throughout central and northern areas of the province. So that is good. The stronger winds will be seen off in towards Saskatchewan. So we will see that improve. For us here in Edmonton, as we look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam, Action Furnace fixed right or it's free. Here in Edmonton, we are at 19. We've got a nice mix of sun and cloud. The camera's still shaking at times, so we're still seeing a bit of a wind, but it has eased and it will continue to do so. That is our high for today, 19. Average seasonal high, 18. Not too bad. We'll go above it for tomorrow. As we take a look at the calendar, today 19, that's right around our average seasonal high within a degree. We've seen a lot of days above and only a couple below average seasonal high for May so far. Over the next couple of days, though, we will see some temperatures added to above seasonal. As we take a look at the 10-day trend for today, again, we're at 20. Tomorrow and Wednesday, 24, 25. And then towards the end of the week and the long weekend, we will see temperatures drop off, unfortunately, right around the time of the long weekend. But with that, there's some rain in the forecast, and we do need that. Up towards areas around Cold Lake and Fort McMurray, we are seeing some scattered showers. Areas in and around Edmonton to the south, partly cloudy. As we take a look at our forecast for this evening, mostly clear sky, fairly clear to start tomorrow, and mainly sunny for tomorrow. 7 in the morning, 24 for a high, so pretty warm tomorrow, wind light. 25 on Wednesday, some cloud coming in. For Thursday, our temperature drops off. We could see some scattered showers. And then Friday, 14. Saturday looks to be the coolest day in the forecast with only a high of 9, and we could see some scattered showers on Saturday. After that, temperatures will pick up a little bit more. I'll take a quick look at your 10-day forecast, then I'll step off. A slight recovery, but still below seasonal for next week.
All right, thank you, Corey. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, Canadian cruise passengers in isolation at home.
All 4 were and continue to be well and have no symptoms.
Watch closely after potential hantavirus exposure. And how did a motorcycle end up dangling from a BC traffic light? Stay with us.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
All Canadian passengers who were aboard a cruise ship hit by a deadly outbreak of the hantavirus are now at home and isolating. Those possibly exposed on international flights are also being monitored. None are reported to be infected so far. Here's CTV's Heather Wright.
Most of the roughly 130 passengers aboard the MV Hondius have returned home or are in the process of getting there, including 4 Canadians who arrived in British Columbia after being flown from the Canary Islands on Sunday.
All 4 were and continue to be well and have no symptoms.
BC's top doctor, Bonnie Henry, says while strict isolation protocols were put in place aboard the cruise ship in early May, 2 passengers, an American and a French national, have tested positive for the virus since returning home, reinforcing the need for strict public health protocols during the incubation period.
We are all hoping that the 4 people who are here with us will remain well through this incubation period, but this is exactly why we are taking the precautions and why plans are in place should their conditions change.
Henry says the quarantine clock for the 4 Canadians started yesterday. They will quarantine for 21 days and be monitored for 42, the longest known incubation period for the virus, a rare rodent-borne pathogen that can cause serious illness in humans. 3 people have died since the deadly outbreak began aboard the Hondius, with at least 7 confirmed cases and 2 reported cases. More than 20 countries are now working to contain the spread of the virus, including Canada, where at least 10 people are being monitored. Today, Ontario's Minister of Health confirmed a 3rd person is now self-isolating in the province.
We have not seen any indication that they were in close contact and would become symptomatic.
Today, the ship's captain released a video praising the resolve of the passengers and the crew.
And I must commend my crew. for the courage and the selfless resolve that they showed time and again in the most difficult moments.
And in a sign of just how quickly things can change, the World Health Organization says the French passenger who began experiencing symptoms on the flight back home is now in hospital in critical condition. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Canada is imposing new sanctions on Russia and accusing its government of violating the rights of Ukrainian children.
Russia is stealing Ukrainian children, indoctrinating Ukrainian children, and refusing to return these children to their families.
Global Affairs says thousands of Ukrainian children have been deported or forcibly transferred since Russia first invaded in 2014. The new sanctions include 23 individuals and 5 entities, which the government says have been involved in these violations. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky thanked Canada, the UK, and the EU for the new sanctions today. U.S. President Donald Trump is calling the latest proposal from Iran to end the war unacceptable. Those comments coming as he discussed the future of the conflict in the Middle East today.
They think that, well, I'll get tired of this, or I'll get bored, or I'll have some pressure, but there's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. We're going to have a complete victory. We've already, in theory, had a complete victory from the military standpoint.
Trump suggested he'd continue working with the Iranian regime to pursue a diplomatic solution despite dismissing its latest proposal. The impact of the war has been called the biggest disruption to the energy market in history, with the effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz. The man accused of trying to assassinate Donald Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner has pleaded not guilty. Cole Thomas Allen was arraigned in a Washington federal court today. Prosecutors say he opened fire while running through a security checkpoint. A Secret Service officer was shot in his protective vest and survived. Attorneys for Allen have asked for top Justice Department officials to be disqualified from the case. They say there is a conflict of interest because they were present during the shooting. The parent company of ChatGPT is facing a second lawsuit related to a mass shooting. The family of a victim in a 2025 shooting at Florida State University says the AI chatbot enabled the attack.
This is a lawsuit that we feel has great merit, but also is relatively groundbreaking.
The complaint cites conversations between the suspected shooter and the app. The suit claims OpenAI failed to detect a threat in ChatGPT's correspondence. It says the chatbot stated it's much more likely for a shooting to gain attention, quote, if children are involved. Last month, families of victims in the Tumbler Ridge shooting took legal action against OpenAI. They're making similar allegations about the shooter's activity on ChatGPT. A group of pro-Palestinian protesters are suing over their removal from the University of Calgary campus 2 years ago. The lawsuit also claims the university, city, and Calgary Police Service violated their rights. Tyler Barrow has more.
We're here today to be able to ask for justice and to demand it. It's a breach of our charter rights.
2 years ago, these protesters were part of a demonstration against the war in Gaza in the University of Calgary's TFDL quad. Now, they're back to talk about legal action.
Get a clear statement from the court that the University of Calgary, the Calgary Police, and the City of Calgary were wrong to violently disperse the encampment that was set up here.
Organizers say the objective of the protest was to have the university disclose investments it held and divest any support to Israeli causes. Police moved in on the trespass order from U of C to remove the encampment. 4 demonstrators were later issued tickets. According to protesters, all charges were later withdrawn. But Katie Anderson, one of the 9 plaintiffs, says she suffered a concussion during the melee.
They hit me on the head with a baton and their shield. They pushed me to the ground. A bike was pushed into me. I had bruises all over my legs.
Many others alleged similar injuries and psychological trauma. The lawsuit filed in Court of King's Bench claims 7 Charter of Rights were violated, including freedom of speech, peaceful assembly and equality, as well as being subjected to arbitrary arrests and unreasonable search and seizure. The plaintiffs are also seeking monetary damages amounting to over $330,000. A senior litigation specialist highlights the core legal arguments of this case come down to if the university is subjected to charter controls, which is reserved for government actors.
Is this an infringement on freedom of expression and, freedom of a peaceful protest, freedom of association, or is this essentially private property?
None of these allegations have been proven in court. The university says it will review any statement of claim received through the courts and respond as appropriate. The city says it won't comment while it's before the courts, and CPS says it has not been formally served.
A crash near Vancouver has left a motorcyclist seriously hurt and his bike hanging from a traffic light. The bike was launched into the air when it collided with a BMW. The motorist suffered serious injuries and is expected to survive. Police believe the rider was speeding. The driver of the car was not hurt. Still ahead, the business side of the U.S. travel boycott.
That's not a loss of tourist travel. That's a loss of trade-related travel.
New research shows Canadians are avoiding cross-border travel for both pleasure and work. Also next.
Canada's actually was the #1 requested location across the world for Shake Shack.
Despite the trade war, an American burger chain receives a warm welcome at its first Alberta location.
Programming brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
Country singer Corb Lund is touring the province for 2 reasons, music and to rally opposition to coal mining in the Rockies. He joins us Tuesday, plus the importance of filling out your census by the deadline.
Looking at today's market numbers, the Canadian dollar holding near 73 cents U.S. Oil was up by more than $2, closing the day right around $98 a barrel. The price of gold dropped by $2. On the stock market, the TSX is up 61 points, the Dow Jones up 95 on the day. It is the final day to fill out your census form. The provincial government says participating in the census ensures Alberta gets its fair share of federal funding to keep up with growth. Statistics Canada says reminder letters will be sent out to households that don't complete the form on time. It may also follow up with phone calls and in-person visits. Not completing the form could eventually result in a $500 fine. Researchers are painting a more detailed picture of how Canadians' travel plans have changed recently. It's providing a better understanding of how Donald Trump's trade war has impacted both business and leisure travel. CTV's Mike LeCouture has the new numbers.
Ottawa's Tulip Festival is a huge draw for tourists. These Montrealers used to take an annual trip to the New England coast, but since Canada-U.S. relations started to wilt, they're traveling domestically instead.
Stay in Canada and spend our money here, rather than encourage the American people who have this silly leader that they've got.
And it seems they're not alone. Researchers from the University of Toronto analyzed Canadian cell phone usage in the U.S. over a period of 2 years and found a median decline of 42%, more than the initial estimates of a 25% decrease. But that did include freight travel and Canadians who have to travel to the U.S. for work.
We think they're taking a lot more meetings at home in Canada on Zoom.
Researchers say it's even more apparent in some industries hit by the trade war.
You're seeing much less travel to places like Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's not a loss of tourist travel. That's a loss of trade-related travel related to the auto industry.
The new numbers from Statistics Canada show a slight uptick in cross-border traffic last month. In April, 1.8 million Canadians made return trips to the U.S. That's up 1.4% compared to the same month in 2025. It's the first time there's been an overall increase since December of 2024.
There will be those that will not travel to the U.S. no matter what, but I'm seeing many that had that attitude at the beginning are now softening and actually traveling now and going there also.
Despite that bump, Stats Canada numbers show when you compare April of this year to April of 2024, before cross-border tensions reignited, travel is down by 30%. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
After saying it would shut down operations earlier this year, a decades-old Edmonton tow company is back in business. Cliffs Towing announced its permanent closure in January after 70 years of service. It's since reopened under Guardian Group, a company that offers its own operations called Guardian Towing Services. The group says this new ownership will expand heavy-duty towing and specialized recovering capabilities. Cliffs Towing website says it's now operating at full capacity 24/7. Vehicles impounded before January can be released Monday to Friday between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. A popular U.S. burger chain is now open in Alberta. The first customer began lining up at 4:30 this morning for the grand opening of Shake Shack at Calgary's Chinook Centre. The chain started as a hot dog cart in a park in New York in 2001. It has since grown to more than 400 locations worldwide. There are 5 locations in the Toronto area. This is the first one in Western Canada.
Canada actually was the #1 requested location across the world for Shake Shack, and ever since we opened in Toronto a couple years ago, Calgarians have been finding ways to let us know they're ready for us in every which way. So we're thrilled to be able to open today.
Well, to be honest with you, it's just based off of the marketing campaign that they did, and if we're looking at it from the standpoint of what Chick-fil-A did, we're like, hey, this seems like a good opportunity, right?
New location features some Alberta exclusive menu items like the Prairie Berry Shake featuring Saskatoon berries. Coming up, the latest on a wildfire evacuation near Whitecourt. We hear from someone in the area about conditions on the ground. Stay with us.
Programming brought to you by Green Tree Outdoor Living, where your dream yard becomes a reality. Stay with us. We've got another full night of great shows for you tonight on CTV.
Returning now to our top story, an evacuation order has been issued for Woodlands County near Whitecourt because of an out-of-control wildfire. Miriam Valdez-Carletti has been following developments on the story for us tonight. Miriam, what are you hearing from people in the area?
Well, Jeff, one witness tells me that they were just outside Whitecourt where smoke could be seen billowing into the sky. He says there's high winds in the area and water bombers are working to put out the fire. A number of viewers have posted videos of the fire. Plumes of smoke can be seen coming from kilometers away. The evacuation order covers the area east of Range Road 114 and south of Highway 43, including the West Ridge subdivision. Everyone in the area must leave immediately and register at the Evacuation Reception Center at the Allen and Jean Miller Center. Evacuees should bring pets, important documents, and medication. And the person I spoke with is in Whitecourt. There is no evacuation order for the town, but he is staying on alert.
A fair bit of panic just with the high winds, but there's a huge collection of people on Facebook and local groups that have been offering support and help, so everybody's doing their part to help out. But for the most part, yeah, it's a bit of panic from people just wondering what's going on, which way the fire is moving.
Taven says that he's been staying at a nearby gas station and plans to pack a bag tonight just in case. He says people in the community are already showing support, ready to give a helping hand to each other. And now this is an ongoing situation, so we'll have more updates tonight at 11:30. And you can also find the latest information on the Alberta Emergency Alert website or app. Jeff?
All right, Miriam, thank you. Miriam Valdez-Carletti live for us tonight. All right, Corey, that stiff wind today in Edmonton, much stronger in Whitecourt, and it really doesn't take much for a little spark to become a big blaze.
Yeah, and that just adds fuel to the fire. The good thing is the wind will continue to ease. As we go throughout the evening, it'll be light overnight and then light tomorrow, so that will help with the fight for sure, and make it less directional. With you get the strong winds, it can really force it in a certain direction. So the wind will improve for us here in Edmonton. Our wind also improving. It's already fairly light in some areas south of the city. It is continuing to ease up. 24 for tomorrow with light wind, lots of sun, 25 on Wednesday, and then we get some showers in and around Thursday, scattered throughout the day, 14 for a high. Fortunately, heading into the long weekend, people know that it can go either way weather-wise, and it's going in the cooler direction, especially for Saturday. A slight chance of showers and only high of 9. But as we head out of it, slightly warmer, a little bit more sun for Sunday and Monday. It's not going to be super warm, but you know what, Jeff, we do need the moisture throughout many areas of the province, so we'll take what we can get.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Corey, and thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, check out our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Have a good night.